Now that was dirty. What's up guys, my name is Aaron, you know me as Aaron Brawl, and in today's Brawl Stars video we're going to be talking about the top 5 meta brawlers that you can use in Power League, scrims, and even in your usual ladder matches. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Guys, Supercell came up with balance changes at the worst time. I was like literally in between filming my video and they come. So I'll be coming back from the future in a couple of the clips because I'll be telling you my new opinion, whether it changes or not, about each of these brawlers. So we see some changes to like Darryl, to Grom as well. So I'll be giving my opinion on that and whether they'll still remain in the top 5 meta list. So do keep a lookout. Alright, so coming in at number 5 on my list is Crow. Now Crow is one of the strongest brawlers in the meta right now. Not because it's extremely OP, but because of what the meta is right now. We see a lot of Stu and a lot of these high mobility brawlers. Crow comes in because of Crow's gadget. And now Crow's gadget is a slow gadget which basically reduces the mobility of all the brawlers. It has poison. Stu, Darryl, all these brawlers which depend on their mobility. That's when Crow's slow gadget comes in. And let's not forget that against a strong thrower, for example Sprout or Grom, you know, once Crow has racked up enough shots, he can jump on them with his super and makes it extremely difficult for them to handle him. And another great thing about Crow is its effectiveness against all healing compositions. So when you're going against like Poco Double Tank or Pam Maxigene kind of thing, the Crow really comes in clutch because it reduces the healing and the overall effectiveness of that healing composition. And that's why Crow is top 5 in my list. Alright, so number 4 on my list is none other than Stu. So Stu, you know, I mentioned him before, his movement is his strength. In the hands of a skilled player, it is extremely difficult to go against a Stu because he's constantly, you know, moving around the map, reading your movements, and it makes it really difficult to hit him. And as you can tell, I'm kind of speaking from experience here. It's like almost a trauma in my head, you know, when you go against a really good Stu, it's actually super annoying, super difficult to land your shots against him, and you have to. And most people just end up going against with like counter brawlers to it. So brawlers with a lot of pets or extra, you know, like for what do you call those things? Those like little HP little pets. Like for example, like Spike's gadget or Tara's shadows or Asher's super. You know, all these little like HP stuff which can just be thrown in a Stu's face because that's abusing Stu's weakness of limited DPS. So yeah, so that's why people tend to use these kinds of things to counter Stu. And yeah, so Stu is really good because it's reaction based. So if you have good reaction, and if you can get your hands on a 120Hz device where you can be a bit more precise with your movement and how fast you react, you can be a real menace with Stu. So if stuff like Crow's banned, that's when Stu really shines. I mean, preferably you would want to be going against like not against tanks, but like glass cannons in a sense. But it's also very map dependent. So alright, so coming in at number 3 in our list is Grom. Now Grom was extremely broken previously, and Supercell had to, you know, get in a bunch of nerfs to reduce how OP that brawler was, but it's not really enough. I mean, Grom is still pretty good and enough to be in my top 3 list of meta brawlers right now. So the reason why Grom is so strong is because, I would say mainly because of his super and his gadget. Now his super allows him to be a lot more effective against assassins and tanks which get up close to him. So once you have your super, you can drop it down and it's like a half stun against that brawler which is trying to attack you. And that gives you time and space to reset and maybe get a teammate to come and help you out. Whereas other brawlers like Dynamite, Barley, and Sprout have limited effectiveness. You know, if you miss your Sprout wall, or if your barley slow is bad, it's gonna be really difficult to kind of prevent these tanks or assassins from getting on you. But a Grom super completely stops the momentum in its place. Now another great thing about Grom is his Watchtower gadget, which allows him to see through bushes with a fixed radius of the gadget. The only other direct bush vision utilities we have are Bo's Circling Eagle star power, as well as Tara's Psychic Enhancer. Watchtower was a permanent thing where the opponents have to like destroy it, but now it's still the case over time, sort of like a Leon lollipop gadget, but it's still extremely strong. It helps your teammate get easy control of a bushy side of a map very quickly. And yeah, so overall I would say it's still really strong. It wasn't nerfed as hard as it should have been, making it like the first ban in many maps in competitive still. So yeah, that's why Grom is still in my top 3 list of the meta brawlers right now. Okay, and so for Grom, his attack is kind of like a nerf and a buff, because if you think about it, I'm kind of struggling to hit max range shots with Grom, and it's not easy because it's easier to juke. But now with the faster, with the standard projectile speed, you know, you'll be getting those max range shots a lot faster. But it's also enough to one of his biggest strengths, which was, you know, being able to shoot brawlers which are like directly on him and super them away. So I'm not too sure if this affects his super as well, like how quickly he can drop his super in front of him when like assassins rush at him. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I mean, Grom's new gadget is actually insane. Like in open maps where there aren't that many like bushes, that's when you'll really see this new gadget really coming in with a lot of surprise damage, because people don't expect 3 quick successive shots and it only takes 1 ammo. So that is absolutely crazy. Coming in at number 2 is none other than Darryl. Darryl is a favorite pick amongst many people, especially one of my Bio teammates, Jaden. He absolutely loves playing Darryl, and I completely understand why. I mean, before its buff, he was already a pretty fun brawler. He was already exceptionally good in Brawl Ball because of his ability to, you know, quickly roll forward and get the ball in a place you wouldn't expect it to be otherwise. Sort of like a Mortis pre-nerf to like when it didn't consume ammo to pass a ball. It was extremely difficult to defend a good Mortis. And the Darryl rework on its role sort of gave you that kind of vibe of like, oh, you gotta be aware of the ball position and stuff. So Darryl was already good, and the rework they made to allow its shield to be 90% you know, protection while rolling, not only when you're activating that star power, but also with the rolling reload star power, made it extremely broken, because now it can be used in heist in so many maps, and it's so unkillable while he's rolling. I'll show you a clip which I had when I was playing a knockout in a scrim, and it's just like nobody expects it, and it's extremely strong because of its surprise factor and the power of knockback. So the knockback, basically, if you can get your roll to land directly on someone, they can't click, they can't attack you, they can't do anything. You know, if a Colette supers you, you can still attack a Colette while he's supering you, but with a Darryl roll and the knockback on you, you literally can't even attack, which is what makes it so strong. And it's exceptionally strong in Brawl Ball. Yeah, so that's why Darryl is still number 2 on my list. Hi, I'm back from the future. So for Darryl, he does actually receive a pretty hard nerf on his shield, which was one of his strongest points. That when he was rolling, he would have a 90% shield, regardless of which star power he's using. Now, I think this is going to be a huge nerf for Darryl, because that was his main strength. It was almost invulnerability from damage when he was rolling. So I think Darryl we might not see him at rank number 2 in the list, but you know, I never know. We never know. He still might be you know, top 5, maybe top 10. But yeah, that's Darryl. And finally, coming in at number 1, the top spot on the list is Fang. Now, Fang is the newest brawler in Brawl Stars, and it is extremely, okay, I wouldn't say extremely, because there have been a bunch of other episodes of um, broken brawlers like Sprout and Rosa. Okay, but let's not get to that, and Leon. Let's not get to that. But Fang is still broken. It's still OP, and it's still probably the strongest brawler in the game right now. The thing about Fang is I feel like people don't know how to play against it yet because its super is so unique and it's broken. The broken part about Fang is his super. So the supercharge mechanic, I mean, if you're using the right star power, when you defeat an enemy, you get your super back immediately. So if you can imagine Stu super, you know, when you hit an enemy, you get your super. But this does like 2000 over damage, and you're basically unhittable because you're flying from point A to point B to point C to point D. It's crazy. And so once you have your super with Fang, there's actually no proper counter because nobody can actually, you know, Tara can't really pull you. You literally can't be like CC'd or crowd controlled at all whilst supering. And yeah, and it's also really hard to react to it. I mean, to be able to, I'll show you the clip earlier. The Byron actually tried to super the Fang but missed completely because it's so unpredictable. And that's what makes Fang so strong right now. I mean, it works also against non-brawler objects. So if you put your roughs sandbags down and Fang can get on it, he's gonna get his super back immediately, even though he didn't actually kill a person. Fang is so strong right now. It's so unpredictable, and it just takes everyone by surprise. Alright guys, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know whether you enjoyed it. You know, I think this list is generally still pretty accurate even after the balance changes. I'm super excited. You know, Ems can finally shoot through walls, and Brock has like 500 more rockets in his super. It's like, oh, and Byron can like, oh, the list is endless. I'm so excited for the new update. Let me know whether you guys are excited as well. Also, let me know what you want to see in the next video. And yeah, thanks for watching. Do follow me on my socials here or here. I'll put it here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much, and I love you guys.